Good morning. I am going to be drawing some apples this morning, and so I thought this could be kind of a little chatty, kind of like how I do it, type of thing. Also just kind of thinking about like how we got these apples and all that. So I have these apples. They have bruises on them. And the reason why I have these apples is because I got them at the flea market for like $20 for a bushel, which is a pretty good price.
This is an apron.
It is an apron. I have Anna here, my helper. Anyway, a couple weeks ago, we went to the apple orchard, this famous apple orchard. And we get our little pre-picking bag, you know, you have to pay for it first. And we go to pick, and I'll let you see the video. What are we gonna go do?
Apple pick.
We're gonna go apple picking. That sounds so fun. You got your bag?
Yes.
Huh? That's pretty cool. I'm excited. Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are you finding?
Finding apples.
Oh, good. Are you gonna put them in your baggie? Don't pick them off the ground, okay? There you go.
This.
I see you through the trees.
I see you.
Ooh, look at that nice apple. Put them in there really gently, remember? We'll pick a couple of those guys, and then we'll pick some other kinds.
Oh, I see them.
There you go. That's probably good. We finally found apples again. There are no Gala, no Honeycrisp, nothing of anything good. So I think we're back at the Fuji's. Kind of a ripoff at this place. 20 bucks for this tiny bag of apples. Guess I will get my winter supply somewhere else.
Here, look.
Yeah, gently put them in there. You're a good picker. This is like a little tent in here. Look at all these apples in this tree.
I'm gonna save that one for last.
Okay. We get home later that day after picking that bag full of apples, and I had a great time, right? It was fun.
Yeah, I ate an apple.
You ate an apple. Was it delicious?
Yeah.
Or not so delicious?
It was not so delicious.
It was not so delicious. We discovered they were not either ripe or something. I don't know, but they were very hard. So I dried that whole batch of them because they were just kind of tart and sour and hard. So then
we used this.
Yeah, we used the dehydrator for them. Put this back down for a second.
We used the dehydrator for them.
Yeah. So then I discovered that the flea market nearby us has these cheap apples. They're seconds, so not really good for eating because, you know, they have bruises on them that are pretty good size. Like, yeah. But I'll just chop that off and use the rest of the apple. But I can't stick these in my apple peeler core slicer, which I could with the hard, unripe apples. So, but when I went to go get these apples, the lady was like, oh yeah, here, have a taste of them. And these are Fuji's, and the ones I bought at the orchard were Fuji's. So I was kind of really not sure if I wanted to buy a whole case of these if they tasted as bad as the other apples. Well, I bit into it and I was like, whoa, juicy apple. This is how the apple is supposed to taste. Yes, I will buy a box of your apples. So we got this box of apples and we have it in the fridge in different places to keep them fresh long enough for me to dry them. So,
and I bit into it and I loved it.
You did.
I ate it. I ate the whole thing.
I'm going to take off the bruisey spot first. Ooh. There. Just a little bit, and then I'll peel it quick. I just use my peeler. Just go around it real fast. You know, I mean, it is faster, and I think the slices get more uniform when I do my apple peeler slicer, but because they're softer, it just kind of mushes them. So, I have it peeled. I'm going to get my cutting board.
This is a reminder for aprons.
Do you want a video of me cutting up the apple?
Yeah.
So then I just go around and I cut off like 1/4 of an inch slices. And I just keep going around and around the apple. Hey, back over here. Back over here, please.
I said I show them something.
Anna's getting distracted with her filming here. Can you show the apple, please?
I have.
Are you showing me or are you showing the apple?
You and the apples.
So we're just basically taking the core out and see how there's a big bruise in the middle of this one. We don't want that. So we'll just work on that. So, and then, and we'll not do that piece. So then we just put them on here. And if I use the apple core peeler slicer, this takes 24 hours. But doing them like this, kind of discovered it takes a little bit longer. Like the last batch I had to do pretty much took like 36 hours just because they were a little bit thicker and a little bit harder to do. So besides drying all these apples, we are also going to make yummy treats because, you know, it's apple time. And I would probably even go back and get another box if we ran out of these too soon and they still had some, because they're pretty delicious and we have the space to store them and they'll keep for a little while. Anyway, we made apple turnovers the other day. I made my own, what is it called? Puff pastry. Never done that before. They turned out pretty well. Yeah, I think my dough probably could have been a little bit better, but it was pretty good. The recipe was from venison for dinner.
I'm gonna plug in this.
She has good recipes. Anyway.
I'm gonna plug in this while I'm using it.
Okay. Anyway.
Mom, can you take this up?
I don't know where the plug is, actually. We gotta find the plug.
We'll find this plug, then I can use my camera while I are charging it.
Yep. Anna wants an apple cake for her birthday, so I think we're gonna make some of that with either of these apples or other different apple, unless she changes her mind between now and then. You know, we're already on multiple
I asked
choice
Oma if I could borrow her church cookbook, and she said yes. It was in her room.
So she could make the cake with Oma's recipe. So, but we don't need to make that today. We just gotta get this loaded up because we got other stuff we gotta do.
We have to do the specialist stuff.
It doesn't take long to fill up the dehydrator. Just, you know, you gotta take the time to do it. And I really like dried apples, and so once these are dried, I'll just store them in like a Ziploc bag or whatever, and I will munch them until they're gone. I really love them, and I do not enjoy paying the several dollars it is for a small little baggie of ones that taste so fake and preserved. So I'd much rather just dehydrate my own. If I didn't have a dehydrator, there are multiple ways you can do it in the oven, like with hardware cloth, or like just probably on a tray. I would guess you can also do. Back at my parents', we had a huge oven with big sheets of hardware cloth, and then we'd stick boards in between the hardware cloth so we could do like 2 layers. So we did like 4 layers in the oven at a time, and we could dry some apples really fast. But I don't have that here. But I guess if I did not have the dehydrator, I would do that. So you just basically turn on the oven to like the lowest setting ever. I'm sure there's recipes out there for exactly how to do it, because I don't know the exact temperature. Anyway, and you let it dry overnight. It probably takes a little bit more energy, I would guess. I don't know, running your oven like that. I don't know. You could probably also do it in the sun, but I also don't know about that. It's also not been dry enough here to do it in the sun. We've had a lot of rain. So anyway, yeah. I'll stop jabbering for right now. Ta-da! It's all loaded up. So I'm going to put the lid on and plug it in. And away it will go. I will just rotate these every little bit, like every half day or so. And just rotate the trays around. And then I'll be done. I pulled this apple chip out of the dehydrator a little bit ago. It's been probably 26, 27 hours since we started it, and they break like that. Snap. You could definitely pull them out a little bit earlier if you don't want them as crunchy. These are actually perfect, so I think I'm going to take them out and just store them in either a Ziploc bag or a container, but they're really good. So this is 2 batches worth of dried apples. It will last us a little while, not very long, because we really do enjoy eating them. They're good for road trips and that sort of thing, and just quick snack. Like a friend out the door or something. It's not messy. Everybody loves them. So, super easy. Not a whole lot of hands-on time. Just cutting up the apples and stuff. So yeah, that's what we're doing with our apples this fall. Mostly. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.